Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be looking at how to get a JAMB score of over 300. We'll also be looking at how to get into the course of your choice and also into the university of your choice. So for more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment. My name is Chiku, and once again, welcome to this channel. With us today is Samuel GODDAY, aka Sam Star, and he's a medical student in the University of Ibadan. He'll be telling us how he got a very high JAMB score, and also he'll be telling us how he did it. So welcome to this video.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me.
So we'll start with, like, what was your JAMB score?
Okay, I had 334.
Oh wow, that's good. So straight to the main question. Like, how was the journey to, getting that JAMB score? And what were the things, you did that made your JAMB score exceptional? So that, people who are watching can know how they can score just like you did. So what are the things you did that, made you do very well in JAMB?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I love the language you used. Journey. It's a journey indeed anyways.
Yeah.
So there are two things. It's either you know about the journey early, so that the journey could be shorter.
Actually.
You don't, which means that the journey will be longer. A bit long.
Yeah.
All right. So the most important thing is that you having a vision about what you wanted, what you need, what you want. So if there was never a vision, there's nothing to run by.
Yeah.
There's nothing to, there's not that is tantamount to having no goal in mind. So of course, if I was going to study medicine, and with the way the admission process in Nigeria is very competitive, then it means that I have to score a bit high.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And all right, even when I made up my mind to score high, I wasn't that, good, but I had to put the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yes. So at first it was really a sacrifice, but later it became fun.
Wow.
That's nice. Carrying the books and then starting to read it.
Yeah, it was
boring. And it became fun. Yeah. And another thing in which I noticed that students could easily miss is just trying to read and not giving yourself something that it brings about quick gratification.
Yeah.
So what I mean is those times when I try to read, maybe if I read a topic, I try to give myself a very quick gratification so that I could keep on going forward. So what I do is to go through a past question and find those type of questions of the topics I read, and immediately I solve them. So it made more sense to me. I was never going to rush the process anyways. Yeah. But first thing is that I made sure I started very early. So I was going to be writing usually averagely that time when I wrote a Jamb, we usually write, Jamb is always been written around March.
Yeah.
So if I was going to be writing March, I made sure I resumed as early as August. Yeah. Of course, I didn't write Jamb when I left my secondary school. So, and when I was going to prepare for Jamb the following year, I had to resume early and I started
August the previous year.
Yes, August the previous year. So and I went to a very competitive tutorial anyway. So seeing people, and the time I got to the tutorial was when these positioning people were being drilled hard. So I saw life and I was like, wow, people could be as smart as this. So it's one of those things that I was like, okay, I'm gonna be like this.
Seeing others that
so
how those goes.
I was gonna be like them. So I started early. Yes, I started early. So that is starting early actually is one of those keys to covering a lot of things. Yeah. Okay, and another thing is that Jamb syllabus could be very wide.
Yeah.
And then there is this question of if Jamb is a lock, what you read came out or what you didn't read not come out. Then I understood that, of course, these people are not wicked. There is a thing called Jamb syllabus.
Yeah.
So we have the syllabus there.
Yeah.
To start with. So I got the syllabus. Of course, the only syllabus I never followed was English because it never looked like a syllabus in the first place. You had what is it called? You had is it lexics and dictionary? Yeah, you had lexics and structure. We had comprehension. So there was no comprehension I wanted to palm or read.
Yeah, exactly.
So and lexics and structure could be very many. Test of all rules and stuff like that. So the only syllabus I never followed was English. But out of chemistry, biology, and physics, I stuck to them. I started with the syllabus, honestly. So I was always ticking at the end. I'm done with this part of. So it was a very good motivation factor. Wow, I got like 5 topics to go.
Wow,
yeah.
That's good.
So it was a very good motivation factor. And when I could tell you, I finished this syllabus almost twice before, if not twice, I actually did before the listening, because I was actually very conscious. So this morning as I woke up now, I said, okay, these are the topics I'm going to face. So I wrote them out. Yeah. And also for physics, I did. For chemistry, I did. Even though I knew some of them could be very unrealistic, but at least I tried to pursue. Yes, to pursue. And I very honestly, I did much.
Wow.
And later it became enjoyment rather than stress. Yes. I mean, important. Getting to the class and what you read yesterday being asked today, and then you answering it, and then I mean the way people look like you weigh and stuff like that, you know. And then you feel so good, and when you're done, you say, yes, I'm going forward again. I'm gonna get this. And then maybe you write certain mocks, and then you just saw yourself improving every time. I mean, of course, I wrote mocks, and some of them were very bad, but I wasn't discouraged. I was like, okay, the reason why this was bad was that I'm not ready to stop it.
And at least it showed you what to do better.
Yes. And I mean, the other advantage of starting early was that I was able to, I could not read through most of the textbooks the other time, but I had jottings anyways. So I was able to carry my jottings the second time.
Jottings.
I read it, yes. So that's it.
Wow. That's really, like, a lot has been said. You've talked about, like, being among people who, have that same mindset and all that. You've talked about, knowing the time, how, you schedule your time, schedule the day, plan ahead and all of that. You talked about English, like how the syllabus is always somehow and all that. So, and we know that people usually get the lowest in English. So what do you think as a good, because I even know you're good in English too. So how do you think one should approach that, saying like the syllabus is not another?
All right. Thank you. I got the question already. One of the mistakes in which people make is the fact that, English is not really the core subject. So you just have to focus on physics, chemistry, or whatever other core subjects you're doing. I'm secondly very wrong, because if you also look quickly towards post UTME. This is University of Ibadan, and then you are going to be writing 25 questions. I mean, that is 425 questions to make 100, and each question costs a mark. So if you also go with that mindset, you are going to fail woefully. What I mean is this: so let's say that you are very smart and you had 25 in chemistry, 25 in physics, and 25 in biology, and then you had 10 in what is it called? In English. That is what is called? Is that 75 plus 10? That is 85. Now let's say somebody not as smart as you, but just was able to, figure out something in English. So add 20 in English. So not as smart as you anyways, add 20 in what is it called? In physics. Maybe add 22. Then by the time you are going to do it, you're going to discover that the person might even do better than you. But I mean, that is even an hypothetical situation. Not that you are going to score 25. I get it now. So I discovered that for me to do well, even generally, I have to be also intentional about my English language. So one of those things which I did was, it is not as if maybe the language, they said Jamb does not have new questions again. They repeat old questions. It is not really a lie, because knowledge, sometimes when knowledge gets to certain points, it starts to recycle itself. I mean, knowledge is not out of the system. Knowledge does not come from the sky. It's what we have been seeing. So, and if natural events recycle itself, I think questions also can recycle themselves. So the worst they can ever do is to just restructure it in a different way. So I mean, Jamb has been on for more than 50 years, and you are coming and you're thinking that to go read American syllabus should be something that you will use, or you must have to speak English like the people in UK before you could know. And again, it's not about you just speaking English. What they are testing is not even English language. They are testing the use of English. I mean, your day-to-day use of English. And which means that if you're going to do well in English, one of the things I do those times is a time came I had to start learning about 10 words every day. So I mean, tonight I use those words, so it's no longer about maybe learning again. So words like rambunctious, like surreptitious, like I get understood, and not just learning. I find their opposites, and their synonyms. I get understood. So I have to do all those, and then also the lexis and structure. I also I focus on it. Okay, there was this book I used that time, because I mean I'm not advertising any book. I'm not an advertiser, so you could go for any book. But I mean, there's this maybe is it Silent Teacher? Maybe I mean, this by Dele Ashade or something. Wow. So I used the book, and it explained some. I mean, it explained differently from the way the normal English. In school. And then also, if you these normal GES textbooks. GES textbooks. I don't know for other schools, but for UI, actually it addresses some of these lexical stuff that you could need for Jamb. Yeah, because there are a lot of rules and all that. Exactly. I mean, it is easier to read them than carrying one. I mean, please, don't go carry what is it called, text and passages in textbook and exactly. Actually. So you just have to approach it from a practical and most importantly, never forget your past questions. Yes. Wow, because I wanted to ask about that. Yeah, like, most of the words you are learning should come from the past questions. I mean, don't go look for words from dictionary. No. Yeah. So you solve your past questions, you find synonyms, you find antonyms, carry it. Those are the most important things. Exactly. Yeah. So most of the words you learn should be coming from the past questions. Past questions as well. That's good. So what maybe final advice can you give them? Because you've talked a lot about, about everything essentially, so they've learned one or two things. What final advice can you give to people, especially those probably who are maybe finding it hard, going, like they are probably confused and all of that, like Jamb is a big thing, and maybe even probably they failed one Jamb exam already. So what do you think they should do? What kind of advice can you give them? Okay, and that reminds me when I heard the failed Jamb one. I mean, someone says failure is not even a bad thing. It's part of it's a process in success. Yeah, so it doesn't look like that. I said I didn't write Jamb the first year, right? Yeah, that was very correct anyways. So I mean, and the time I was now going to write Jamb exactly for myself was when I discovered that Jamb is not the way they said it. So I was going to write Jamb March. I started preparation for it January, and I read my textbook. And most of the things I read came out. I mean, I was actually that intention. I was born in the midnight candle, killing myself. That was language I could use. So those things came out. I mean, I remember the night before the exam, I carried Udodome. I wanted to do revision. I mean, if you know that textbook, I was just scrolling through, and I saw a particular thing about anurans. I mean, frogs. They use what is it called? Continuous method for breathing, that they breathe through their skin. So I saw the question the following day. So all this encouraged me. I was like, whoa, if I could prepare for this thing in 3 months, and I could see this question, then this is actually not a lock. So when my results came out, do you know what came out? 239. Wow. So I had 239, and I was very happy. I mean it. I was very happy. I was encouraged because it's not what people were saying. So by myself, I decided I wasn't going to write post-Jamb. So I had to come back for it. That was when I now went early. So there's not like any failure or anything. And then again, also it came to my mind that regarding maybe the number of hours you want to use per day for the stuff. Well, maybe for the sake of discipline, you could say, okay, if I've not read 5 hours, then maybe I won't. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's for the sake of discipline, but I think you should enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. I mean, when you're happy that you're learning new things, and most importantly, if you're not learning it by yourself, you go to tutorials and then people and also I had to even start teaching people the new things I'm learning. So as to, because when you teach, it sticks. Yes, so I had to start teaching people the new things I learned. That's just it. Thank you so much. Thank you for this time. And don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and that's the end of this video. Thank you so much being in the video. All right, take care. Bye.